Okay. All right, we are recording.
So we're starting this thing out on Stewart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And well, school shootings. Wow. We're gonna bring everybody way down, and then hopefully bring them.
These are just two things that we've talked about extensively, you and I, and you wanted to knock them out and get them out of the way because we had some points of view. So,
points of view.
We had some points of view. Yeah, we all have points of view.
Don't we all?
All right. So, oh hey, by the way, we're recording. Hi everybody. This is Eric.
Hello, this is Robin.
And this is Stewart Perspective. Wow, we didn't even practice that.
Wow. Here's a little secret.
Yes, it's a secret. All right. It's a secret. We don't exactly know how all of this is going to turn out. We've been planning this for a long time. It will be a secret. Yeah. Just so we're not going to get into a whole bunch of history about who we are. You can learn as you go, or you can look back at some of the other stuff we've done if you want to find out. But I am what I call red, white, and blue collar. 33 years in telecommunications, 26 years in the field. I'm in telephone poles, just a monkey up on a pole. But I also have a degree in media arts and animation. I've got a rinky-dink Emmy nomination for a project I worked on. If you go and look it up, it's an episode of Arts in Context. Funny thing is, they spelled my name wrong. Such is the story of my life.
Finally get the big break.
Yep, finally get the title, and they spelled it Steward.
So there's lots of producers out there looking for Eric Stewart.
Yeah, and he doesn't exist. Well, he may exist, but it's not me.
It's not you, unfortunately. I'm Robin. I've had 51 years of bad decisions. And
so I'm here. You're with me. That's not so bad. Hello.
Okay. We'll go with that.
All right. Anything else you want to add for you? Look, people, she's the brains of this organization, really. She's the one that's kept me from totally going off the rails.
Have you ever stopped to think that's why we are where we are, sitting at this table in this beautiful RV doing a podcast?
Yes, this is our mobile studio.
Because I'm the brains.
It's not an RV, it's a mobile studio.
Okay. I'm also the realist in the
team.
Couple here.
The couple, the team, the partnership. It's a mobile studio, and we are in Hutto, Texas at this moment.
Okay.
All right. So, what we kind of want to do with this is we're probably going to do like a weekly episode. I wanted to try to do 2 weeks, but Robin wants to start off with once a week, and that's fine. We can do that once a week. And we're going to do like half and half. We're calling this, or I'm calling it, a P-OpEd Podcast. And that's, you got your opinion editorial, which is the first half of the show. We're going to be talking about serious subjects and stuff that are in the current events and affairs, and you're going to quickly see where we kind of lean on things. And that's okay. If you like our opinion, great. If you don't, that's okay too. You have your own. That's cool. Anywho, so the first half will be the serious stuff, and then the second half will be the fun stuff, some pop culture stuff. Some things that we're getting into, like going to see some music venues and stuff like that. And we got a friend has a food truck coming up that we're going to go check out as well. Yeah. That's going to be fun.
Actually, a cousin of mine.
Oh, cousin, sorry.
By marriage, but, you don't really need to say that.
How does that math work? I don't know.
It doesn't.
Okay.
Because I'm not good at math, but...
So we got a family member that's got a
thing. Family member.
He's got a food truck. We're going to go check that out. But not today. Today we got a few things, and so just some other simple things you need to know that from time to time you may hear us cuss a little bit. We'll try and keep it down low. If not, I'm going to throw this sound in. That is our old man Brody. He's no longer with us, but he is. Because I'm going to edit it in later.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm new at this. I was looking forward to hearing Brody's bark, but that's okay. We'll hear it. Go ahead.
So that's Brody. He's no longer with us, but he is with us in spirit, and he's going to be on the show with us, covering up our mistakes.
That's all you're going to hear is Brody barking. Woo, 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 woo.
I kind of already derailed where I was going with that train. Oh, That's derailing. Derailing. Here we go. Okay, there's going to be times I have what I call Swiss cheese brain. Robin calls it chemo brain.
I definitely have chemo brain.
Yeah,
it's a real thing. People, look it up.
Look it up.
Look it up.
We will actually be right in the middle of sentence sometimes, and the brain will lock up, and we'll lose a train of thought, or even just a simple word down a hole somewhere, and we just totally lose it. So we'll be in the middle of a sentence, and we'll be just like
silence. Then you'll know.
Then you'll know. We just lost something down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So that's some of the things you're going to find out. But I don't know. Enough of the hullabaloo.
Yeah, let's get started.
All right.
Let's get into this. See how many people we can make hate us.
Well, it is a topic that's kind of touchy. It's the student loan forgiveness.
Oh, touchy? That's what
you got people screaming for left and right. And here's another thing. You may see how we're going to lean on things, but everybody will throw out there, stop watching Fox News. Guess what? I'm going to call them out when I'll call bullshit on whoever.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And one of the bullshit I'm going to call on the loan forgiveness here is Fox and some of the things they were saying on some of their shows. And just so you know, I'm not really for the loan forgiveness.
Right.
I think it's a stupid thing. It's ridiculous, and it's going to cost a fortune. But at the same time, I stupidly decided to go back to college at age 39, and I knew I was taking on a debt. And I graduated owing $73,000. I'm sorry, $72,000. That was almost 10 years ago, and we've been dealing with it for almost 10 years. And what's it at now, Robin?
$72,000.
Exactly. 10 years and ain't shit moved on.
We've been paying a monthly payment. Well, we've been married for almost 9 years, and I've made sure that monthly payment goes every month automatically, and it's done nothing.
Now, I have no problem paying that because I chose to take that on.
Right.
I wanted to complete something that I started 20 years previously, and I did. I completed it. I got my degree, and I'm happy. Couldn't really do anything with it. Turns out, to afford the payment and to live, I actually had to leave the industry I was trying to go into and go back to telecom because I made much more money in telecom.
Sad but true.
So the degree was just one of the most expensive pieces of paper I have.
Yeah. Well, when I was fresh out of high school, back in the day, long time ago, started going to college, and it was not very expensive. I think I paid like $200 per class, and that was crazy.
Yeah.
It was
I remember,
so cheap.
1989.
I was college. Woo, go Tigers.
Oh, 1990 for you, yeah. Go
I don't
Tigers,
know
really?
I have no idea.
ACC, we called them the Grackles.
Okay, that's probably, that's good. And I started out in radio, television, and film because radio was something I was interested in, and film was something I was very interested in. And I found out very quickly that because I did not win the rich parent lottery, that I wasn't going to be able to do this film thing, because you could do it. You could get into it real quick and be gangbusters with it, but you would have to basically live on someone's couch and be able to go wherever they asked you to for weeks at a time, do whatever you had to for free, and I'm just like, I have an apartment and a job, and I have to pay bills. I don't have that. So I quickly switched to radio, got into that for a while. Worked at, I did an internship with Case 101 and KVET. Then I moved from there and went over to work as an intern. Sorry.
Hit the mic stand.
There's too much talking with your hands. An intern over at KLBJ, but it was at the time, it was a country music station that was under their umbrella. And it was great. It was so
a long
much
time
fun.
ago.
That was such long, B93, that was so long ago. But we were right across from the guys on the morning show at KLBJ. So it was hilarious. But it was a great time because I learned a lot. And I think Jimbo is still one of the voice guys there. I don't know. And it was a great time. I got to meet Earl Campbell. He came in there a lot and sat with us. Mm-hmm. And so forever I've always called him Uncle Earl. And he was doing an appearance at, I think it was an Albertsons or something that was opening up somewhere in like South Austin for us. And so I was there, and my mom, oh my God, my mom loves Earl Campbell. She loves it. And she was wanting to, come out. I was like, come on, you meet him, get his autograph. Well, she was ill that day.
Oh.
So I went up and I was talking to him. I was saying, my mom loves you. She wanted to be here, but she was sick. She couldn't, So he signed, it's like a postcard sized thing of him, and I believe it's something to do with his Earl Campbell sausage, right? And
it's good sausage, by the way.
It's great. It's awesome. And I love his sausage.
hey now, hey.
Yeah. Anyway, and so he signed it for my mom, something to the effect of, "Hope you feel better," whatever, Earl. And my mom actually has it framed in her house. And so,
really, you never showed me this.
It's framed. It's in the house, and
okay,
so
I'm gonna check it out next time we go over there.
I was telling people, and that's my Uncle Earl. So
anyway, that's nothing that's going to happen. We're going to do side tangents from time to time off the main topic
because we go down that path.
I got one we're going to hit on the third block here. I got a side tangent.
You told a little about you. I haven't told a little about
No, absolutely.
I did not stupidly go back to college when I was 30.
She paid hers as she went.
My stepdad helped me, but it wasn't that much because I didn't finish because life happened and I had to pay all my own bills. So anyway. Back to what we were talking about.
Yeah. So I settled myself with that debt, and I'm okay paying it because I chose that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am going to tell you this: if the administration is stupid enough to go through with these loan forgivenesses, is that a word? Forgivenesses. I am damn sure going to take advantage of it. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, because
if people don't take advantage of it, then you're the fool. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like every tax law out there that every billionaire takes and uses. It's a loophole that's there to use. Use it. Okay. Now here's my beef, and it's with Fox. They go off on their tangents about this being that all the common man is going to pay for the lawyers and the doctors and the sons of and daughters of the rich people.
It's going to pay
all the Harvard graduates. Graduates? Good Lord. And here's what I got to say. Bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those guys. I'm going to take advantage of this $20,000. I've still paid for my stuff for the last 10 years, and I'm going to pay the rest of it off. But I'm blue collar. I had to go back to the old industry to survive after getting my degree. It is what it is. But I call bullshit on that as being y'all's talking point.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's the whole time. That's the way it's come out. Oh, they're all the plumbers and welders and electricians are going to be paying for all of the.
Who's going to pay for their trucks?
Harvard
Guess what?
Graduates. I don't know. I don't see why do Harvard graduates need help paying their bills. Number one. But I think it's. I got so. I can't even find the words. I would get so upset with them about that.
Yeah, because that's what the constant thing they bring up.
Right.
The constantly
thing. And like my husband going into telecommunications, the truck that we have, the $60,000 truck that we had, was bought expressly because he needed that to do his job.
Yeah.
And because we traveled, he had to have that size of a truck to pull our home, which was an RV.
And thousands of dollars worth of equipment.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I've paid for myself.
Yeah.
And
when you have to buy all your own equipment, everybody always asks us, well, these people that you're working with on this specific job, are they paying for your benefits? And do they pay for your gas? It's like, no. We pay for everything.
Yeah, we are 1099 contractors. That's it. Yeah. Anywho. Anything else you want to stab on that one about this thing here?
I mean, my whole thing with these student loans and taxpayer money going to pay for it is Ukraine.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna hit these guys this up.
I feel so much for these people. I hate that they're going through what they're going through, but we've paid over $63 billion. Is it now?
Yeah,
I think that's what on the note. $63 billion would be that we've sent them. Okay, everybody's okay with that because why? Because we're helping some people out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We don't really bitch about that, but think about all the other things that is
Things,
voted.
countries, everything else.
Well, just everything that are put into bills that are passed that you don't even know about, that your tax money is going to.
The tag-alongs.
Yeah, this stuff that you have no clue about.
Yeah.
You know, that honestly, your tax dollars are going to. And you want to bitch about helping your fellow Americans out a little bit with something that they got into for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Look into these other things.
Oh, yeah. Look at the other things, like she's saying, but also it's a Band-Aid. The whole system is messed up, and that's another thing I wanted to stab on this thing here, is the whole system needs to be reformed, okay? Because the biggest thing about these is my loan is actually, what is it, like 10 different loans?
Yeah.
And each one of them has its own separate interest rate that varies between like 18 and 36%. Well, maybe not that high, but it gets pretty damn high.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And, yeah, I mean, I look at it all the time. It's like, oh my God.
And every time we look at it, something changes on it. And that is just ridiculous. Yeah. Reform the system.
Yes. The government, like everything else, needs to be reformed. You know, immigration, everything needs to be reformed. But the government is giving these loans.
Yeah.
So they're making your interest rate.
And they're taking the money.
And they're making a lot of money.
They're making a crap ton of money. They're making a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
Because just for mine alone, $72,000 when we've dealt with it and paid on it for 10 years.
Right.
And still $72,000.
Think about back when you were 17, 18 years old. Stupid comes to mind. And you have this paper sat in front of you that says, we will pay. We will give you. We will pay all of your stuff. You don't have to worry about it. Oh, you don't have a job. You don't want to work and go to school at the same time? We got money for that too. Just sign right here. And 5 years down the line, whenever you graduate, it seems like forever to you when you're 17, 18 years old. Yeah. Then when you graduate, you start paying us back.
Yeah.
Okay?
But wait, not for 6 months. 6 months after you graduate, then you start paying.
Yeah.
We're going to give you 6 months to find a job.
6 whole freaking months.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to sign my life away because you don't have a clue what you're getting yourself into. Yeah. At least most kids that age. You have a couple of smart ones out there. But most of them are like, yeah, where do I sign? Give me the money. I don't have to pay for anything right now. 5 years? I'll be dead in 5 years. Whatever. You know,
we all thought it. We all thought it a time or three.
5 years from now, shoot, what are you talking about? So, that's something that we need to make sure that kids fully understand what they're signing.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of kids, not even kids, I mean, we're talking about people like from 20 to 30 that go in and sign up to get an apartment. And they sign a year lease. And after like 4 months, they're like, oh, well, I have a friend I want to move in with, or I hate this place, or whatever. And they move. You got to understand that you're still on the hook for the rest of your time. And that goes on your
credit report.
Thank you. There's one of those times. And they need to understand that stuff. And that's a lot of the stuff that I get into, and I'll probably get into it another time, is what our schools are teaching and what really needs to be taught, and what they're not teaching, and what really does need to be taught to these kids that are leaving high school, going out into the world, and don't know anything.
Yeah, because you have parents these days that don't teach those things.
Right. A lot of parents don't know.
That's true.
Let's get real.
I mean, look at the classes we had, Economics 101,
Yeah. I was taught how to write a check.
Balance the checkbook.
Write a check. That's all I knew. I didn't understand if I get a credit card with 18% interest and I put $1,000 on it and don't pay it off after 30 days, how much that's going to cost me down the line.
That's a lot of money.
And I wish I would have known that.
And that compounds.
Yeah, that's insane. So, anyway,
there's a little side tangent, and so it's kind of our beef on the student loan forgiveness. Yes, the reality is we don't really think it's a good idea, but at the same time, if the Biden administration is going to go for it, and we're going to take advantage of it because, why not?
Yeah. Well, it's just like all the money that was sent out during the pandemic. There was a lot of people out there that were totally against the person who wanted to send that out and didn't care for him at all. Mm-hmm. But dang it, they were taking that money. They weren't going to send it back.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
So it's just one of those things.
Hi. Wow, man, that was
something.
a long first
That
episode.
was. Sorry about that, guys.
We're gonna take a little commercial break for a second, and we'll be right back with the second segment, which is gonna be about what is this thing?
School shootings.
School shootings.
Yeah.
That sounds deep and dark,
That's horrible.
yeah,
but
anyway.
it's a good kind of thing.
It's a good kind of thing. Anyway, we'll be right back.
Down lower than you've ever been before, and you cannot help to think that someone's out to get you when the day...
Hey peeps, this is Eric Stewart here, also known to some of you out there in the interwebs as Uncle Mongrel. Just wanted to jump in and say, hey, I'm actually a new brand ambassador for Reaper Apparel Company, and I just wanted to say that go check these guys out. They've got some good messaging. Some of you know that February of this year, I had a bad accident that physically damaged my body and has really changed my life. There's so much I can't do that I've done for 30 plus years, and I'm having to learn to move forward. And I spent a lot of this year in a kind of a dark place, really sad, upset, angry, and for some levels I still am. But when I found this company, one of their mantras is broken, not defeated. And man, that really sunk into me. And that's kind of what I've latched onto, is broken, not defeated. And I've got a lot of time left on this planet, and I'm learning how to live again differently than I have before. And this company, man, they have the idea, and they have this mantra of racing the Reaper. We're only here on this planet for a short amount of time, and we're all racing the Reaper, man. And so you got to learn how to live in dark places and do the best with the life we can. And these guys, their mantras, their t-shirts, their hats, and everything like that, really cool, and really strike a chord with me. So go to their website, reaperapparelco.com, and use the promo code Uncle Mongrel, and you get 10% off. Or if you want to hit me up on my email, unclemongrel71@gmail.com, and I will send you a referral link for 15% off. All right, check them out. Show a little support for me and the show going on right here that Robin and I started. This is the first episode, and hope you guys like everything that's going on so far. Stick with us every week. Use the code. Show these guys some love and show some support for the show. All right. Love, peace, and bacon grease, y'all. Bacon.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Well, that little break was interesting. I was trying to export the first segment for the first time, and I couldn't get it to play. And I was a little freaking out because that's 20 minutes worth of recording.
I was just looking at him like, am I going to do that again? Because
I don't know if I can.
I can't do lightning in a bottle. It's you can't do it again. You just can't. It's not going to be the same.
All right. Well, thanks for sticking with us so far. All right. So this is the second segment, and we're going to go from the student loans we're doing, talking about the school shootings. Now, this is going to go back to like the Uvalde.
Yeah. And it's just really more facts and figures to help figure this problem out.
Yeah, because everybody's saying that, it's the gun and stuff, and it's not. And what I'm going to point out is something that really I saw it hit the news like one day. That's it. One day, it was a talking point for like 5 minutes in all of this. And it's something that's called the Safe School Flagship. And it's a system developed by Net Talent. Okay, that's all yada, yada, yada. You can look that all up. But this school that has this is considered the safest school in the United States. And it's Southwestern High School in Shelby County, Indiana. Okay? Now, this is a security system, and Robin's probably just going to let me rattle off because I'm the one that did the research on this one and got the numbers and everything. And here's what I'm going to tell you what this system does. Okay, the exact information I got is the security system requires each teacher to wear a key fob, which they would press in the event of a life-threatening emergency. Pushing the fob activates the security system. The system then directs teachers to get students into classrooms and shut the door, which automatically locks. Inside the classrooms, teachers have a tool that allows them to report whether their class is safe, under attack, or dealing with an injury. The system also promptly provides Shelby County officers who are miles away from the school a complete layout of the school, displaying which classrooms are safe and what's happening on the campus. Video surveillance cameras and sensors also began tracking the shooter throughout the campus, helping the police to get a description of the suspect and locate him. The new system also features new hardened door stands with an enhanced locking mechanism to ensure the door is not breached and it is bullet resistant. The doors are bullet resistant. Classrooms are also equipped with a safety kit, which includes a tourniquet in case someone is suffering from a gunshot wound but cannot be seen by paramedics immediately. In the hallways, the system has smoke cannons in the ceiling that law enforcement can use in conjunction with the live video feed. That's right, live video feed. The minute this thing kicks on, all the cameras, the surveillance cameras, hook up with a live feed with the sheriff's department so they can see what's going on in real time. And they can use these smoke cannons to block, deter, and direct the intruder away from classrooms and areas with people and move them to areas that they'll block them in or actually lead them out of the school where they can be more easily detained. This, I've seen the video, and you can look it up. Southwestern High School, Shelby County, Indiana. You can see the videos of this thing. You can see a few articles and stuff over this. But what I want you to realize is this system, man, it's awesome. It really, really works. And it's if you install it in K through 12 schools, the protection level goes through the roof for our children. Okay. Now the cost. It cost $400,000 to install the system. $400,000. Okay? Keep that note in mind. Another number you need to think about is in the United States, there are 130,930 K through 12 schools in the U.S. Okay? So if you install the system to each one of those, that comes out to a total of $52.3 billion. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it, right? Remember what we said in the first segment? How much money have we given away to Ukraine? $63 billion. And nobody complains about that. We could have spent $52.3 billion to make every one of these schools 100 times more safe for our children and our teachers and everybody involved. Aside from the Ukraine thing, let's look back at talking about the money given out for COVID. School systems were given over $120 billion for COVID.
It's still sitting there.
It's still sitting there. They haven't used it. They haven't done anything with it, and it runs out in 2024. They have to do something with it by 2024. The money goes. I don't know where it goes. I guarantee it's going to end up in somebody's pocket somewhere. But
Yeah,
that's
right.
$120 billion. Put $52.3 billion into this and put this system into all the K through 12 schools. The peace of mind of every student, every teacher, every mother, every father, every relative will be well worth the investment. The lives that we'd save. And then, barring that, it's not the gun's fault. Start looking at the mental health issues.
Yes.
And we can go on and on and on about that tangent.
We could talk for an hour just about that kind of stuff and looking at these people. One of the things I kind of brought up when all this stuff was happening, it seemed like in a very short period of time, it seemed like it was always a very young man or boy, as I like to call them, because most of them are not in their 20s yet. I mean, they're high school age.
Yeah.
You know, and I just wonder, why are these young boys so angry?
Yeah.
You know, what's going on?
And why are they hell-bent on suicide plus?
Yeah. It's like, why? Why go to the school? Why kill children or, teachers? What's going on?
Suicide is a horrible, horrible thing, but if it comes down to it and somebody's got to do that. Don't take innocent people, children, with you. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. And news media that reports on this and just uses their names over and over and over and over again, that is feeding the monster. They know they will have publicity and they will be known.
Yeah, right. I would rather know about the people who died
Yeah.
by their hand than anything about the person that did it.
Yeah.
You know, we understand people who do this kind of thing aren't there.
Yeah.
There's
Something's
something
wrong.
going on.
Something's going on that drove them to this.
Right.
And we can always go back hindsight 2020 and start trying to pick it apart, but we got to figure out a way to see it in the forefront.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But, you know, the politicians, and whether they're on the left or the right, I don't care. They all want to make excuses for why this happens.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to do what they need to do about it. They're always going to go to, oh, we got to do something about guns.
Yeah.
What about helping people who need help?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
You know, people, a lot of times when you see these things, people like their family or close friends always say, oh, well, we knew he was going through something. We knew something was off when he started bringing all these guns into the house, or he started talking whatever rhetoric.
Yeah.
He started staying in his room all the time. He didn't have any friends. You know, hello, say something to someone.
Yeah. If something seems amiss.
Yeah. I mean, I know family doesn't want to rat on family. I know moms don't want to say bad things about their kids.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you rather get them help than their legacy to be school shooting and how many people they killed?
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Anyway, look that up if you want to look into it. But the numbers, man, I like facts, okay, and I like nonpartisan facts, okay. So, we're gonna have. This is another little tangent here. We're going to have like a Facebook group and we're going to have Patreon and all that. And we're going to be in the next few weeks setting things up where people can join the conversation. And we really want you to join the conversation, okay? But we want it to be effective conversation. Don't come in here with vile and vitriol and start trying to, throw mud and sling mud and try to hurt people's feelings and stuff like that. Come in here with useful information. Preferably as nonpartisan as possible. Give me facts, because I'm old school Gen X. I don't like being told how to think or what to do, and I'm gonna just turn you out, turn you off.
Right.
Tune you out, turn you off.
Right.
Give me facts so that I can look at the facts and make my own decision.
Right.
And that's the conversation we want to get back to in our little corner of the world. We want to be able for people to talk and have civil discourse. And at the end, if you agree, you agree. If you disagree, then disagree to agree to disagree.
Give us like another side of it. Give us maybe, something that we didn't think about. Something, that we can really go,
Now,
okay.
If you still want to come in with your vile and your vitriol and everything like that, I'm going to go in and I'm going to set up an email account, okay? And it's going to be something like we don't really care at gmail.com, okay? And I want you to send your complaint to that. Seriously. Because if you come in here like that, we don't care.
Okay.
We don't really care.
Just know that we will not look at it and we will not talk about it.
Yeah.
Because we don't care.
And if you tag people in our groups, then we'll block you from those as well. But anyway, we're going to open everything up and we want the conversation. So if you have something you want to add, then by all means bring it in. Okay. Anyway, so that's a little side tangent. That was section number 2. And I'm not going to pause on this one. You would just roll right into the section number 3 here. And
roll that beautiful beat footage.
We're going to hit it. I did a little video on this thing, and you can go back and you can look at our one of our YouTube channels, Random Access Web TV, and you can find the video of my immediate response to the Fetterman Oz debate. I do want to say we just moved back to Texas from New Hampshire, so we were on the East Coast over there, New England, and when they said this was going to start at 7 o'clock, we sat down at 7 o'clock here.
We wanted to watch it.
We wanted to see this debate.
I really want to see this debate. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, we forgot about the time change, and we literally caught the last 5 minutes, and then had to go and watch a few other clips of it.
We caught the closing statement.
And we had to watch a few other things. But
yeah,
do you want to kick this one off on this one? I got my points. I'll say in a second.
Well, the biggest thing that everybody was showing, was his answer to fracking.
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Was that an
wasn't even
answer?
an answer.
Was that an answer?
It wasn't even an answer. It was, I support fracking, and I support fracking, and
And I stand here and I support the fracking.
for fracking. Didn't answer the question of, you know,
How do you square it from your past
yeah,
statements
you
against
said that
fracking?
you were against it, and now you're for it. So what's the deal?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that just played over and over and over and
Yeah.
over and over again. Saw that. God love the man.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. I know that he went through something. There's no making fun of that. There's no
not.
making fun.
And we're not making fun. Please.
No, absolutely.
We're not making fun.
There's no making fun of someone who's gone through that. My father-in-law had a stroke.
Yeah.
And over time, which wasn't really that long.
He had 3 strokes.
He had 3 strokes?
Yeah, and each stroke took more and more and more of the man that I knew.
Yeah, I mean, at first, you know, we were still talking. It was fine. We could understand. And then little by little, it just got to where he would start talking and no one could understand him. And so we know the toll that can take on someone, and that once you have a stroke, there's a possibility you could have another.
Yeah.
You know, I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah,
I really do.
Everybody's saying he's cognitively there, and he may be cognitively there, but he cannot, how do you say this? He cannot project that, and he cannot convey his cognitive thoughts, okay? And he's trying to become a senator, where you are going to be in high-powered debates, arguments, discussions, and you need to be able to convey your thoughts precisely and concisely.
Right, and you're doing this for the people of your state. God dang it. I'm really doing well over here with this thing. I need a different microphone thing. I'm going to look into that.
Anyway.
When you talk with your hands, it's really hard.
Yeah.
But...
you're going to be representing your state.
Oh, you're going to be representing your state with all this stuff. Now, if you're in that state and you're voting, don't you want the person who can best get you what your state needs and vote the way that your state would be best off? And this man, you know, if he's having to have closed captioning and he's having to take however long it is to comprehend what questions are being asked, and then also how he's going to answer that question. I'm thinking that they're wanting him in there just as we know this guy is going to vote with so-and-so every time.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to vote with whoever, you know, every time. So we don't have to worry about him. We've got his vote.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to be one of those guys in there debating and coming up with answers and coming up with better ways for his state. He's going to be we just wanted his vote guy. You know, so that's my 2 cents.
You're having microphone stand problems over there. So am I. Mine was about to fall off the table here.
I'm just... Okay.
Anyway, and you know, you could dive into the things that he said. You know, his views on crime and paroling convicted murderers. You know, it's not good. Why would you want to do some of the things? And he keeps using the example of the Shawshank Redemption. That's a fucking movie, dude. It's like, who would you want to keep Morgan Freeman in prison? Jackass, that's a movie. Sorry, I'm not poking fun of the man. I'm poking fun of that statement. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I mean, did they murder someone then? Yes.
Yes, I want them to stay in prison.
Yes.
Jesus, criminy. So another side tangent I wanted to go on with, talking about the fracking thing. You know, just in general. Here's some hard numbers for some people out there. The United States of America has enough crude oil and natural gas to run our entire country, independent of the rest of the world, for the next 400 years. 400 years. Here's something else you need to know. We have improved the process so much in our country that we produce the cleanest crude oil and natural gas with the least amount of CO2 emissions than anybody else in the world. So you want to shut all of our stuff down and then have to go out to like Venezuela and Saudi Arabia,
and
get there and beg and get there.
Saudi Arabia Please.
You're actually increasing the CO2 output by 30+% doing that.
Mhm.
It's fucking stupid.
It is stupid.
And the government needs to get their hands off of it. Let the country and independent companies take care of the oil situation. We can become energy independent.
Yep. Again.
And yeah, electric cars
we
might be good, but that's a whole nother tangent right there.
Yeah, if you want to drive an
Anyway.
electric car, go for it. I don't care. But don't make me drive one.
Yeah, and
I don't
the
want
government shouldn't be forcing us to that. Let private business figure that out. But in the meantime, let our country pump its own oil.
Yeah, let us become energy independent again. Trump. There we go.
Here we go.
When he was in there, say what you want. When he was president, I felt safe.
Safe.
No matter where I went, I felt safe.
Yep.
All right. I was proud because we didn't get on our knees, which take that however you want.
Yeah.
To any other country and beg them for anything because we were good.
Yeah.
We were good.
We got it.
You didn't see all this crap out of China that you're seeing right now, out of North Korea that you're seeing right now, and you sure as hell didn't see it out of Russia.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did I think that, Trump was like personality man of the year? No. But you know what?
Give me a mean tweet at $1.89 a gallon gas.
Give me his policy. Give me his. I'm going to stand up to people. I'm not going to let people mess around.
Yeah.
That was his attitude, and I liked that. I hate who we have in there right now. He's just so frail, and nobody is like, shaking in their shoes.
We're a laughing stock. We're a laughing stock to the rest of the world.
People always said, "Oh, Trump is president. We're the laughing stock." No, people were afraid of us.
Yeah, they were afraid what the orange man would do.
They were like, "Oh, we're not going to mess around with them because,
Yeah.
But now they are laughing at us.
Yeah.
Because we elected, however you want to see that, an idiot.
Yeah.
We elected someone who walks around like he doesn't know where he's going. He walks like, and I'm sorry, but I've been to lots of nursing homes in my life, and he walks like a very old man in a nursing home.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where he is half the time. He doesn't know what he's saying half the time. He spouts out stuff that isn't even true, that never happened.
Yep.
And it's like, oh my God, what's he going to say today?
Yeah. No wonder he has handlers.
That don't handle very well.
Anyway, so obviously I told you you're going to see how we really lean on a lot of things. So that's some valid points there. And sorry, I told you also we're going to get off on tangents and stuff. So we started that on Fetterman and Oz. And
just to sum that up.
Okay.
To sum up Fetterman and Oz.
We're bringing it back around to the beginning.
Oprah.
Oh, hell yes. This is a good one. Okay. Check this out.
I believe it was yesterday. Oprah came out endorsing Fetterman. Okay, what's interesting about that, and probably everybody knows this by now, but I'm just going to say it, is Dr. Oz actually started out on Oprah's show. He would come on there and he would talk about medical stuff because he is a doctor. And if I needed heart surgery, he's the guy to go to. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, he started on her show, and then when he got his own show, Harpo Productions, which is Oprah spelled backwards.
Yeah.
Her production company produced that show for him.
Yeah. Made money from that show.
She made lots of money off him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because he had a great show. And so it's just interesting that she went the way she went with Fetterman. But it only goes to show you that she's that Democratic, liberal leaning person. And even though this person, you can look at him and know that that's not the best choice, I'm still going to go for him.
Yeah. And we really don't have a dog in the fight for Pennsylvania because we're not in Pennsylvania. But
not in Pennsylvania, but he's still going to the Senate.
Yeah.
Which is all of us.
That's all of us.
Honestly, it's all of us. I mean,
and I'd rather have Oz in there. I really would.
I've looked at both of them. I've listened to both of them.
Yeah.
Tried to listen to both of them. One of them's a little harder to listen to than the other, unfortunately.
And isn't it convenient?
I do like Oz. I like what he says.
Isn't it convenient that his latest political ads are so crystal clear and he looks so refreshed, kind of like they were filmed before he had a stroke?
Yeah.
All right. Wow, man. See, there you go. 3 segments. That's the top half of the show, and that's the serious stuff. All right. So
we do get lighter.
we do get lighter, and that's what's going to happen next. We're taking a break right this second. I got to save this track, throw in a little music and stuff like that for you guys, so it's not quite so boring. And we will see. Why in the hell is my mouse not working? There he goes. We'll be right back.
Down lower than you've ever been before, and you cannot help to think that someone's out to get you when the day.
Hey peeps, this is Eric Stewart here, also known to some of you out there in the interwebs as Uncle Mongrel. Just wanted to jump in and say, hey, I'm actually a new brand ambassador for Reaper Apparel Company, and I just wanted to say that go check these guys out. They've got some good messaging. Some of you know that February of this year, I had a bad accident that physically damaged my body and has really changed my life. There's so much I can't do that I've done for 30 plus years, and I'm having to learn to move forward. And I spent a lot of this year in a kind of a dark place, really sad, upset, angry, and for some some levels I still am. But when I found this company, one of their mantras is broken, not defeated. And man, that really sunk into me. And that's kind of what I've latched onto, is broken, not defeated. And I've got a lot of time left on this planet, and I'm learning how to live again differently than I have before. And this company, man, they have the idea, and they have this mantra of racing the Reaper. We're only here on this planet for a short amount of time, and we're all racing the Reaper, man. And so you got to learn how to live in dark places and do the best with the life we can. And these guys, their mantras, their t-shirts, their hats, and everything like that, really cool, and really strike a chord with me. So go to their website, reaperapparelco.com, and use the promo code Uncle Mongrel, and you get 10% off. Or if you want to hit me up on my email, unclemongrel71@gmail.com, and I will send you a referral link for 15% off. All right, check them out. Show a little support for me and the show going on right here that Robin and I started. This is the first episode, and hope you guys like everything that's going on so far. Stick with us every week. Use the code. Show these guys some love and show some support for the show. All right. Love, peace, and bacon grease, y'all. Bacon.
And we are back. So thanks for hanging out through the first part of this thing. And if you follow us along over the next few weeks as we get this thing rolling, and you don't like our first half serious discussion, fine. Tune in, jump in the middle, and start listening to the second half, okay? That's where we're going to talk about a little fun stuff, like, what's the first segment this time around going to be?
We're going to talk a little bit about Houston Astros.
Houston Astros.
Houston Astros.
World Series. Woo! Texas boys representing.
Yeah. They have me worried. Don't think that no matter what happens that, inning 4 or 5 comes up and you're not worried, because you just never know the way they're going to go on any given day.
Oh my God, man! When Philly took off and just run after run after run after run I was heartbroken that game. I'm like,
oh yeah,
what? Stop it now, please. Can we just walk off?
5 home runs.
Holy
for
crap!
McCullers.
Oh, poor McCullers, man. They had his numbers. They must have. We didn't see it, but they must have seen
They
a
knew
tell
something.
coming across there.
And they knew it, and they took full advantage of it.
They
And
did. They freaking did,
I
man.
felt horrible for him. I kind of knew what he was going through a little bit. It really gets you off. With the first home run, you're like, okay, that's one. And then it seemed like they were one after the other.
They were. Seriously, they were.
And after the second one, you're just like, oh. And your psyche really gets hit hard, and
he was deflated. He
oh,
was
absolutely.
deflated.
And then 3 more.
Oh my God!
And
By
they
the
couldn't take him out.
by the fifth, they took him out at the fifth inning, right? They were trying to hold on and
Yeah,
keep
he
him
had
through
to
the fifth.
stay for 5 1/3, I think, or
5
something
and third.
like that.
My God, there was a point I
Oh.
saw one pitch, and there was one crack of that bat, and it was out of the park. And his arms went down, and his head went back, and it's like, oh my God, your heart is breaking right now. If you were him, and I'm like, my heart was breaking for him.
It absolutely was breaking
Yeah.
for him. I mean, that's just horrible. And he's probably in therapy right now, trying to get over that, because that hurt. That really hurt.
If you go back and watch that, man, that really hurt. What game was that? That was game number 2, wasn't it?
Was it 2?
That was 2. The last one, the second one in Houston, wasn't it?
Game 3.
Shit.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
We've watched every game.
We've watched every game.
And they all kind of go together.
Oh, yeah.
But
Damn,
there we
there
go
you go.
again.
Mike's
Holy
stand right
crap,
there.
Robin. Oh yeah, I'm making sure everybody's awake. Anyway.
Yeah, the last game, which we are recording on Friday night, the 4th of November. So Thursday night's game. Don't think for 1 second that we weren't just had ulcers going, because it was.
Oh yeah.
One run, we got one, they got one, we got 2. They kept trying to get another one. Oh my God! And they would load the bases and load the count. And holy crap, it was stressful as hell for us watching it.
I know. I was like, I can't be a coach. That's why I could never do it. I could never be a coach, because I was like, oh, I can't watch this pitch. I got to look at my phone.
Yeah.
I can't watch this one. Oh my God.
Here's one thing I did. We're in this RV park, and I know people were listening to this, because when they got that last out at the end of the ninth inning, it was like this here. Okay, quiet. Ric Flair. All right, so if you did what I think you did in your head right now, that's what I did in the RV as loud as I could last night. Woo!
Yeah. Woo!
And those of you out there who don't get that reference, don't understand that, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're not going to have as much fun with that as everybody else just did.
We're old.
Anyway, so it was a Ric Flair moment.
Yeah, they've definitely tried. They're still trying, because they're still playing, giving me an ulcer. I have to get some ulcer medication after this is all done. Like, oh my God.
Oh, we're back in Houston tomorrow, right?
Yes. Back in Houston for game
6. Wow.
Game 6. So if Houston can get to go ahead and win it, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I can get on with my life.
And I know that, let's look at it from an accounting kind of thing, okay? They got to make it go all the way to the 7th.
Right.
game.
We got to make as much money as possible.
As money as we can. Every team needs the money.
And beers are $20 a piece.
$20 a piece, so yeah. So I expect it to go 7 games, but holy cow, man.
I mean, last night watching that game, and it's interesting that none of the Phillies have hit a home run, right? No. They didn't.
No, they had that one. They had one last night.
Who hit a home run last night?
I don't know. That was the one that was. We got one. They got one. I don't know about the Phillies guys, except for Thor was pitching.
Thor was pitching. We were like, oh my God, it's Thor, because we saw the long hair, and then we saw his last name. It's like, oh my God, it could be Thor.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Skarsgård or some shit like that. Oh no, those are the actors.
No,
Never mind. Sorry.
Family Dynasty.
Dynasty. Yeah.
But I just know at some point in that game, because the Phillies have just had so much trouble getting a hit. The night before, it was a no-hitter.
Yeah.
They didn't give a hit, Yeah. That they were all sitting there wanting McCullers back.
They were.
They're like, can we put it back in? We need a couple home runs.
Please put it back in, please.
But anyway, I McCullers, I love you. I still love you. I'm pulling for you.
Yeah, and what was the one you wanted to talk about? McCormick.
You'll be okay.
Chaz McCormick.
Oh well, yeah, that awesome catch that he made.
That was an awesome catch, man. He jumped up that fence there, and he
pretty amazing.
He took face first into that fence.
Yeah, talk about a golden glove.
Yeah, and then he
deserves one.
Robin also found somebody that was sitting at the
supposedly. Okay.
Yeah.
I found this on Facebook.
Supposedly.
If the story is true, it's true. If it's not, okay. But the story on Facebook is there was a woman who was sitting in a seat that was right above where he caught that ball. Okay. And when he caught it, he fell back and like laid there for a second or two because it's dirt. He's laid there because, I mean, he went into that fence like big time.
This is audio. They don't see you doing the angel wing and falling
Oh,
back.
sorry. He fell back, like, oh my God, angel wings out, poof, right there on the ground in the dirt. So anyway, he gets up. Well, supposedly there's this outline, basically, of his body, how he fell, and you can see like his number and everything in this photograph.
How real this thing is or not, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but there's a picture, and so I saved it to my camera roll, sent it to Eric, and
we'll put it out there and let you guys take a look at it on all our platforms and everything like that.
It's pretty cool. If it's real,
if it's real, great. It's awesome. It's pretty cool. If not, hey, it's still a good freaking story.
Yeah.
So anyway, we still got it. At least one more game.
Just one more game.
So
we'll be talking
hopefully
about that in the next
Texas
cycle.
will take that one in. Yeah, we'll be talking about that next week. Yeah, it's a Texas team.
I know, but when you say Texas
people think Rangers. I get. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, come on, man.
She's right.
All right.
All right. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, moving on. What was the next thing? Oh, I wanted to talk about the MCU and Werewolf by Night. And if you haven't by now watched this thing, it came out for Halloween. And it just shows one thing I loved as a kid on comic books is, besides the characters and everything like that, is that how Marvel and these other ones can do these one shots. And they don't have to connect to some other storyline. It just can be a good little story, and you can enjoy it. And I guess DC did it with one of my favorite ones was Lobo back in the day, his one shots. But this one I would consider a one shot from Marvel. It's an hour long. It's on Disney Plus. It's Werewolf by Night. It's shot black and white style because it's dealing with like an old Hollywood style werewolf and everything. And Robin hates some of the stats and stuff because this is not her forte. So I just looked this up in Werewolf by Night. He was introduced in the Marvel Spotlight, which went issues number 2 through 4 is where he was introduced in 1972. And that parlayed him into his own series that started at the end of 72 and ran for 43 issues through 1977. One of the big things is in issue number 32, it's the first appearance of Moon Knight, which is another one of my favorite characters. And if you haven't watched that series, watch that one. It's worth it as well. So he after his series was over, he became more of a supporting cast. He'd show up from time to time in Moon Knight, Spider-Woman, Doctor Strange, Morbius, stuff like that. And he was in another little small series that only lasted about 2 or 3 issues. That was also where they started Man-Thing, which in the show you'll get to see Man-Thing. And man, I tell you what, they did a great job bringing him to life and giving you a little bit of the background for him. And if you read the comic books with Man-Thing, it was a little more tragic and stuff like that. They make this one out where he remembers more of his human self, which was Ted Solis and stuff. So if you get a chance, watch that one. It's a great little one-shot, and it shows that Marvel, with their small screen MCU and stuff, can do a lot of things that don't have to be attached to the bigger stories and be enjoyable. I'm going to try and get Robin to watch it. She didn't watch it with me the first time, but I'm going to try and get her to watch it. She's just sitting here going, okay, are you done talking about this stuff like that?
My eyes glass over.
Glass over, yeah.
Yeah. There's some of the stuff. I mean, I enjoy a lot of it. I don't know the intricacies of everything the way you do. I mean, he can go into, oh my God, just stuff that down this rabbit hole of craziness with all these. I mean, he knows all of it. Star Trek, Star Wars.
Yeah.
All of them. I mean, I don't know. I like some. I like Baby Yoda.
Grogu.
I know it's Grogu. But there's a lot of stuff. He got me into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
See,
Marvel,
you like that one.
I never thought in my whole life that I would want to watch this show because I thought, oh my God, are you kidding me? It's And then it was probably about the second season. I think I don't know that I saw the first season with you when you were watching it, but I was kind of sitting on the couch, looking at my phone, doing other stuff. I was listening though. I was listening to the shows, and I really got into it because I was like, okay, and who's this guy, and who is he to her, And what did they do? Now, where are they? And so pretty soon, I had enough information to where I just started
Yeah.
watching the damn show.
Because when she'd ask those questions, I'd have to pause and go
Yeah,
into
he'd have to
a
tell me
diatribe
that.
about it.
But finally, I knew enough, and I was like, okay, I'm in this show now. And I would get so pissed when I would like get up in the morning and come in, and he's been watching it for 3 hours. And I'm like, well, nah, I missed 3 shows. I missed 3 of them. He's like, well, we can watch them again. It's like, no, just tell me what happened. So I would get so mad. But I really got into those characters. I really did. You know,
Yeah.
they're very good. The emotions that some of those characters
Yeah, they
bring
really
out
did a great
in
job.
you know, whenever something happened to them or somebody got killed or whatever.
Oh yeah.
You know, you just really.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. That's MCU, and that's the small screen MCU, and I am so glad that they're starting to bring in the Netflix small screen MCU into the Disney Plus MCU, which that to me is amazing. I hope we get to see Luke Cage. I'm an old school Iron Fist, and yeah, Dial H for Hero. That was she's looking at me weird. Yeah, that's where it came from.
Okay.
Anyway, Luke Cage, Power Man, Iron Fist, back in the day, and I wasn't too keen on Iron Fist in the Netflix. They made him a real whiny little shit, but Luke Cage did a good job. Go back and check him out there now, all on Disney Plus. Anyway, blah blah blah. MCU, awesome, love it, love it. Tell us what you think. What characters are your favorite? Reach out. We're going to have the group up. Hit us
If
up on
you
everything
have any
else.
questions, I'm sure Eric can answer them.
I'm sure they can do like most of us do. And
because he knows
GTS it.
all of it.
I don't know all of it. Oh my God.
You know a lot of it.
Okay, now here's the thing. We all have fandoms, okay? Yeah, I'm kind of a big freaking nerd, and I've got Star Trek, I've got Stargate, I've got Star Wars, I've got MCU. Yeah, those are some of my fandoms. Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. She likes Lord of the Rings. She loved Game of Thrones.
I loved all of those, but the guys were hot. I mean, I could not tell you what their names were, where they came from, why they were there.
What I want people to think and realize is when you start talking to these guys and gals and stuff that put down the nerd fandoms and stuff like that, but they'll sit there and they'll tell you every stat about a player for the last 20 years. Fandom. You're a fanboy just like I am, but yours is a jock. Same thing. Same thing for musicians, which leads us into one of our last ones here.
Oh.
This is hers. This is Robin's.
Well, you know, I'm a big country music fan. I'm not going to tell you that I know everything about everybody and you know who's doing what, but I love country music. And one of the things I saw this past week is the CMAs are coming up, Country Music Association Awards, on the 9th, I think. And I saw that they have nominated Morgan Wallen for Entertainer of the Year. And the first thing that came to my head was, oh, I guess that he's done his penance.
His penance.
I guess it's official. It's basically 2 years. That's your sentence.
Is that the sentence nowadays?
I think it's been about 2 years.
When they tried to cancel you for being young and stupid and drunk and saying something ignorant and stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it was ignorant and it was stupid, and
yeah,
I think we all know that.
I said at the beginning of the show, I'm old school Gen X. Well, not at the beginning, I said it somewhere along the line, but thank God there wasn't cell phones and all this freaking video and shit back when we were younger. Oh my God, the stupidity that me and my friends got into. Holy crap!
Oh, I never would have been able to get a job. They'd be like, yeah, we saw this online about you, and we can't hire you. We can't have you here.
Well, I don't want to work for you anyway.
Yeah, I didn't want this crappy job anyway. But anyway, so, you know, yay for Morgan Wallen. Yeah. I'm glad that he's finally getting something. I mean, he really deserves. I mean,
didn't
he's
like
great.
Every song. I'm sorry.
Yes, what we're fixing to say.
No.
Right after all this happened, he had a double album out. It's an amazing album. And it was basically, all the songs took up like the top 20 on Apple iTunes for the whole year.
Whole year almost.
You know, I mean, it was people were playing it. It was great. And so, you know, he made a lot of money for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so, congratulations to you.
He apologizes for his ignorant stupidity, and let's move on. And I'm glad to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
If you try,
Well,
if you get canceled, whatever.
If you make enough money for somebody, believe me, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, look at Michael Vick. He's the reason. He is the
Douchebag.
number one reason that
Douchebag.
I will not and have not bought anything from Nike or had Nike's name, symbol, whatever. I don't care if I was buying it at Goodwill. I don't care. I wasn't going to buy anything else with Nike on it because when he got out of prison, they took him right back.
Yeah.
And paid him a lot of money. And he got to play football again. And, I get it. People doing their penance. He did his time. But
he's still a douchebag of the highest order.
Right. What he did is inexcusable to me.
Yeah.
I'm a big dog lover.
Yeah, we are.
You.
Paco's right here looking at us like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, our dog is laying here. He has a rough life.
Rough.
Really rough.
I felt that.
But anyway, I understand you do your time, but doesn't mean that the rest of us have to say, oh, you're all this forgiven.
Yeah.
You're such a great guy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
that's the way I feel.
Wow, man, we've
covered a little bit of territory there.
We've kind of done a show here. Not bad for the first episode to get going.
Yeah.
This will smooth out as time goes by, and we're gonna have some commercial stuff in there. We got some brand ambassadors and stuff like that. What I'm gonna do from time to time, and if any company wants to talk to me, you can get a hold of me, figure it out. You know what I mean? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like I enjoy a little cider beverage that I would love to talk about, a particular one from my hometown here, but I'm not mentioning any names until somebody pays me to. Just saying. It's good stuff, though. I'm part of their club. Yeah, the cider club. Woo!
Part of the club. So, there's a couple things that we're going to be doing over the next week and a half, 2 weeks.
Somewhere in there.
In our lives outside of the mobile studio. One of them is, I think you mentioned it earlier, my cousin Liberty out of Lockhart. She's from Lockhart. I don't know if she lives there anymore. But she finally has gotten a food truck together. It's called Libby's Lunchbox.
Yeah.
And they're going to be starting up, I believe it's November 14th or 15th, and we're going to go and have some food and kind of talk about her.
Where are they going to be so people can go check them out? Didn't you tell
Well,
me?
yeah, it's at the Toyota dealership, but since I wasn't going to really talk about it, I didn't get the actual address and information on that because I wasn't going to talk about it. I was just going to let you know that we're going to go and we're going to see what kind of food she's serving and let y'all know so y'all can go and enjoy. We're also going to be going to the screening of Clerks 3 with Kevin Smith
at the Paramount. And with a Q&A session with Kevin himself afterwards. That'll be fun. We've been to those before. And I've got to, if you go back to the Random Access Web TV, YouTube, one of the very first videos I ever put on there from about 12 years ago was a personal interview that me and a few of my friends got to have with Kevin Smith. And I am a huge, huge Kevin Smith fan. And my 41st birthday, I got to hang out with Kevin Smith and him and Jason Mewes and Matthew Lillard and a bar top of about 75 people saying happy birthday to me. It was a very gracious and satisfying moment in my life.
Yeah. I always say that Kevin Smith is the only man that my husband would ever leave me for.
It's a true story. It's a true story. You hear that, Kev? You hear that?
Hear that, Kev? Yeah.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll be there at the back of the orchestra seats.
Yeah. And then after that, we are going to go and see one of my most favorite singer-songwriters. Her name is Kim Ritchie. She's amazing, and I've seen her I don't know how many times all around Texas.
Is that the one we saw in Boston?
Yes, we actually saw her in Cambridge. In Boston.
Yeah.
We saw her up there. I've seen her in Austin several times, different places she's been, and I also saw her in Houston once. And she's just great. I mean, she's really nice, and I had her sign a boot. My boot.
What's that a boot?
Was that a boot?
Mm-hmm.
A cowboy boot that I was wearing one night, and I was going to actually take the boot off and let her sign it, and she got down on her hands and knees and signed it. I was like, "Oh my God, no, you don't do that!" But she's really amazing, and we'll tell you about that.
yeah, so we got some stuff that's coming up, and we'll be covering some of these in the fun part of our show. These segments and stuff. And as I said, as this goes along, we're gonna have groups on Facebook and stuff where people can join the conversation. We're gonna have the Patreon once I get that completed and set up, so you can join that and help kind of support the show, help support our mobile studio here. So you can check that out once it gets going. And
And
well,
if I may,
if she may,
for this podcast, I really want to dedicate this podcast that we're doing tonight to the memory of my nephew, Colt King. He passed away last December 26th of pancreatic cancer at the age of 23.
Yeah.
So I just want to dedicate this to him and his memory, and that we love you, honey. We miss you.
We miss you, bud.
We miss you.
Really do.
Yeah.
All right. We have no closing other than what's my normal thing I always say? Love, peace, and bacon grease, y'all. Bacon. See ya.
Why now? It's been so long that you've been gone. Why now? After all that shit that I put you through. Tell me why now? I gotta make you believer, not just some asshole in a cut him out t-shirt. Why now that you've been gone?